Jason was standing in line at the busy city mall, juggling two grocery bags, his phone wedged between his shoulder and ear, and his little daughter Emily tugging at his sleeve. "Daddy, can we go see the big Christmas tree again?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Just a minute, sweetheart," he said, trying to keep his balance as he fished for his wallet. Jason was a single dad, not by choice, but by fate. His wife, Grace, had passed away 3 years ago, leaving him to raise Emily alone. He worked double shifts at an auto repair shop just to make ends meet. Every dollar counted. Every smile from his daughter was the only fuel that kept him going. He wasn't rich. He wasn't perfect. But he had heart, and that was something money could never buy. That's when he saw her daughter, a woman at the checkout counter, dressed in a stunning red dress, her hair falling gracefully over her shoulders. She looked elegant, but also worried. Her hands trembled as she searched through her purse. The cashier cleared his throat impatiently. I think I left my wallet in the car," she stammered, embarrassment coloring her cheeks. Jason could tell she was struggling. People behind her began whispering and rolling their eyes. The cashier looked annoyed. Without thinking, Jason stepped forward. "It's okay, I've got it," he said, pulling out his card. She turned, startled. "Oh no, you don't have to, it's fine," he interrupted with a warm smile. "Happens to the best of us." Their eyes met for a brief moment, hers full of surprise and relief. "Thank you," she whispered softly. "You didn't have to do that." Jason shrugged. "Kindness doesn't cost much." After paying, she introduced herself. "I'm Claire." "Jason," he replied, adjusting the shopping bags. Claire smiled shyly. "I feel terrible. At least let me buy you a coffee to say thanks." Jason hesitated. He didn't usually accept favors. But something about her seemed genuine, vulnerable. "Even sure," he said finally. They sat in a quiet corner of the mall cafe. Claire stirred her coffee nervously. Jason noticed she didn't touch her drink much. Her eyes carried a kind of sadness that no makeup could hide. "So, you from around here?" he asked casually. "Just moved here," she said vaguely. "Trying to start over." He nodded slowly. "Yeah, I get that. Starting over isn't easy." Claire's eyes softened. "You're a single dad, aren't you?" Jason chuckled. "Is it that obvious?" "Only because you looked at your daughter like she's your whole world," she said. That made him pause. It wasn't often someone noticed that over the next few weeks, they kept bumping into each other at the mall bookstore, at the grocery section, even near the children's play area. Emily grew fond of her too. Claire always seemed humble, a little lost but kind. She said she was between jobs, struggling to find her footing. Jason, being who he was, offered to help wherever he could, fixing her car, carrying her shopping bags, even checking in when she looked lonely. He didn't know why, but helping her felt right. Maybe because he knew what it was like to need someone, but not everyone understood. At work, his friend Mike teased him. "You sure she's not playing you, man? Women like that classy dress, fancy purse, they don't usually hang around small-town mechanics." Jason just smiled. Maybe she's different. And deep down, he hoped she was. One Saturday, as the mall buzzed with weekend crowds, Claire invited Jason and Emily for lunch at one of the rooftop restaurants. Emily loved it, she laughed, she ate ice cream, and Claire seemed genuinely happy. Jason couldn't remember the last time he saw his daughter so carefree. When the bill came, Claire reached for her purse again. Jason joked, "Careful now, don't tell me you forgot it again." She laughed, but there was something behind that laugh. Something that made Jason's chest tighten. That evening, as they walked past a jewelry store, Emily stopped. "Daddy, look. That necklace looks like Mommy's." Claire's smile faded slightly. "It's beautiful," she murmured. Jason nodded quietly. "Yeah, Grace used to wear one just like it." They stood there, three people connected by fate in ways none of them fully understood, but the truth always finds its way out. The following week, Jason came to the mall after work. He walked in, expecting to meet Claire for coffee like usual. But instead, he saw her surrounded by people in suits, cameras flashing. She was standing in front of a new storefront unveiling banner, "Grand Opening, Donovan Enterprises Mall Expansion Project." And under it, her name, Claire Donovan, CEO. Jason froze. His world tilted. Claire looked up, eyes locking with his. Her expression was a mix of guilt and heartbreak. He turned away before she could speak. Later that night, she came to his garage. The sound of her heels echoed against the concrete floor. Jason, please, let me explain, she pleaded. He didn't look up from the engine he was fixing. Explain what? That everything was a lie? It wasn't, she said softly. I wanted to understand what people really go through outside of my world of luxury and business meetings. I wanted to find real kindness again. And you picked me, he snapped. You let me believe you were struggling, that you needed me. You lied to me, Claire. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't mean to hurt you. You showed me something money can't buy, genuine compassion. He sighed heavily. You could have told me the truth. She took a step closer. Would you have treated me the same if I had? Jason didn't answer. Because he knew maybe he wouldn't have a day's past. He tried to focus on work, on Emily, on anything but her. But everywhere he went in that mall, memories of Claire lingered, her laughter, her kindness, her tears. Then one morning, a letter arrived at his garage. It read, Jason, you were never part of a test. You were the answer. I've set up something in the mall, something I hope reminds people of what you taught me. Come see it when you can. Claire, curious. Jason went that evening with Emily near the mall entrance. A new section had opened, the Kindness Corner. It wasn't a store. It was a space filled with benches, books, and a small sign that read, dedicated to those who give without expecting, because kindness always finds its way back. There was a plaque with his name and Emily's carved beneath it. Jason stood there, speechless. Emily tugged his hand. Daddy, that's your name. Claire appeared beside them, smiling softly. She looked different, not as the CEO, but as the woman he first met, humble, real, human. I wanted people to feel what I felt that day you helped me, she said quietly. You reminded me that power means nothing if you lose your heart. Jason smiled faintly. You didn't have to do all this. I wanted to, she said, her voice trembling. And maybe. I was hoping to start over too. From that day on, they began again, not as a charity case or a corporate project, but as two people who had learned the value of honesty, trust, and second chances. Claire continued running her company, but with a new mission, helping single parents, funding community programs, and hiring people who'd been overlooked. Jason kept working at the garage, but now with better tools, new clients, and renewed purpose. And Emily? She had two people who loved her unconditionally. Sometimes the people we help are the ones meant to change our lives. Jason thought he was helping a struggling mom, but in truth, he helped a woman rediscover her heart, and she, in return, showed him that love has no class, no title, no test, only truth, because kindness always finds its way back.